you remember what summer vacation meant to you as a kid? That time when you were finally done with school for a few months? Maybe you went to a beach or pool. Maybe a trip to a carnival or an amusement park. Or maybe you just created your own fun with friends in your hometown. It's a time for most of our youth to relax the most they'll ever be able to. Which brings me to the movie I want to talk with you all today. A movie that I believe captures the essence of summer, in my opinion, as well as what summer means to adults, specifically adults within the teaching field. I've been a teacher for a few years now, and I wanted to revisit this movie now with the perspective of a teacher. The movie I'm referring to is Recess, School's Out. This movie is actually based off a hit TV series of the same name, but simply called Recess, an American-made animated series created by Paul Germain and Joe Ansolabert that aired on ABC during Disney's One Saturday Morning block back in 1997. The show was well received and lasted 4 seasons. During their second season, the creators were working on this feature-length film and finished the production in 2000. Recess, School's Out was Disney's second TV series to get a theatrical release. Doug did it first. The show takes place in an elementary school referred to as Third Street School. Our characters are Theodore Detweiler, aka TJ, who is the leader of the group, Ashley Spinelli, the Brawn, Gretchen Grundler, the Brains, Vincent LaSalle, aka Vince, the athlete and TJ's right-hand man, Mikey Bloomberg, the gentle poetry, theater, and arts-loving giant, and Gus, a timid new kid in the pilot episode, whose family has a military background. Speaking of military, the whole show had a militaristic tone, from the font of the show's title to the theme song sounding like a training song with its trumpets and snare drums. They say the reason for this is to evoke the theme of a structured society and power dynamics within the playground. And let me tell you, a lot of this show's charm really did come from the show's side characters. Hustler kids sold snacks and other confiscatable items. A 5th grader named King Bob would sit on top of a jungle gym pretending to be king of the school. There were these twins who enjoyed digging random holes throughout the schoolyard, a girl named Upside Down Girl who just hung upside down all recess long, an annoying snitch character named Randall, and tons of very strict and quirky teachers. Now that we have some context, let's talk about the movie. The movie starts at a military base. No, not that base. Strange men in suits do, however, break in and steal the secret project. When our main villain enters, voiced by James Woods,
piece of candy.
He then sets up a map and says that they'll take the secret project to their next base, which they'll set up shop in 3rd Street School. We then get a cool 3D shot, which isn't impressive to today's standards, but I'm more than sure they were working real hard and were praised for this rotating shot of the school, which we've only seen 2D animated. We see all the side characters that fans grow to love, and even King Bob giving his crown to the next in line since he's graduating to middle school. Randall goes off to snitch to Miss Finster, a teacher's assistant and prominent disciplinary character in the series. But she doesn't really care. She's too focused on reselling the uneaten ice cream back to the district to buy more school supplies. However, TJ's gang take it upon themselves to steal and launch all of it back into the playground using a homemade catapult.
I give you ice cream!
Pull!
The fun is interrupted by a loudspeaker with a message from Principal Prickly, another character from the show.
Attention students, this is Principal Prickly talking.
That was fast.
We follow the wire connected to the loudspeaker, and it appears Gretchen made an invention to wire the speaker to another microphone for TJ to impersonate the principal.
And next year I promise to... Why, Principal Prickly, sir. What a surprise.
TJ gets scolded by Principal Prickly, and he brings up the previous stunts that TJ has pulled.
Testing you? I don't know what you mean, sir.
Oh, really? How about the time you convinced the FBI I was a Chinese agent and got me arrested?
I had to, sir. You were giving us kids a speech on personal hygiene. You had to be stopped.
I'm sorry, what? Convincing the government that your principal is a Chinese spy at the age of what, 10? Is diabolical. Not only that, TJ is like, yeah, well, I got 20 seconds of 4th grade left, so you could stop yapping because I'm gonna be out of here soon. Meanwhile, the rest of the kids eagerly count down from 10 to hear the last bell ring.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The kids lose it, and we get a montage of the kids and teachers excited for summer. I don't remember my last days of school being as wild as depicted in this scene. However, I do recall this one time when I graduated high school. There was this huge hill I always wanted to roll down from, and on my last day of senior year, I said, "F it," and I rolled down it. As I got up, everyone was following me down the hill. And that was a nice memory I keep with me. The gang meets up afterwards, and TJ can't wait to get the summer activity started. However, every single one of his friends are attending a summer camp program that lasts the whole summer. Vince is going to baseball camp. Spinelli is joining wrestling camp. Gretchen will be attending space camp. Gus is going to military camp, and Mikey...
The Young Voices training program doesn't like the word camp. They provide opportunities for aspiring singers to train their voices in a rigorous yet supportive setting.
Okay, I'm a theater kid, and even I would have just said camp. What? TJ says goodbye to each of his friends as they hop onto their bus.
Bon voyage.
The last person he sees go is Gus, who is really excited for military camp.
Hi, Captain Brad.
I don't like you, Griswold. I am not your friend. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Not looking for friendship, sir. Good luck, Gus. You're gonna need it.
We then get a montage of TJ being sat on his bike while Three Dog Nights 1 plays. This was the first time I was introduced to the song, and I ended up loving it because of this movie. The next morning, TJ is still bummed all his friends are gone, and his parents acknowledge it. We then get introduced to TJ's older sister. They have the typical sibling rivalry you find in most shows, and she shares that she is loving her new job at Floppy Burger.
Mr. Walsh says if I can master the Vatman 2000, I'll be assistant manager by the end of the summer. And you know what that means? I'll get to drive the Floppy Burger truck.
Boy, she's sure aiming for the stars.
TJ agrees to go on a play date with Randall, because there's literally no one else to play with. But he notices a strange light coming from the school. When he gets closer to the gate, a bald guy in a suit yells at him and TJ quickly rides away. TJ then decides to spend his summer investigating what's happening in the school by staking out and making audio recordings. When he manages to take a look inside, he sees scientists lifting a safe with a laser beam. He runs to tell his parents, but they don't believe him, so he goes to file a police report. But unfortunately, they don't believe him either and laugh in his face.
Laugh at me, will ya? I'm gonna be a taxpayer someday!
I didn't even get that line when I was a kid. Oh man, that was great. TJ has tried everyone he could think of, but when he sees his principal playing golf, he rushes to tell him. TJ manages to convince Prickly to come with him, but when he puts the key into the school, Prickly, Not gonna lie, that would be super traumatic for a kid to see, right? Like, right? TJ decides the only people he can rely on at this moment are his friends, but he needs a set of wheels to get to all of them. TJ asks his sister to drive to one of the camps, to which she immediately rejects the idea. However, TJ reveals that he has her diary, as well as copies of it, and reads off all the embarrassing romantic journals about her coworker Jimmy, threatening to post it on the internet. You know, I don't know how far it would have gone during the 2001 internet era. I mean, it might get to some of her classmates and all, but it ain't like nowadays where there'll be thousands of people reposting the embarrassing things kids be doing. TJ finds Vince and tells him what's going on. Vince is skeptical until he shows the vaporized shoes. We then head over to space camp, where Gretchen is also not enjoying her time there because it's mostly pretending to be an astronaut rather than doing the deeper dive into the science of space.
You know, Gretchen, maybe you should try out one of these neat anti-gravity harnesses. The other kids love them, and look, you can even do backflips just like real astronauts. But
don't patronize me, Doctor.
They travel to Mikey's camp and recruit Mikey, Spinelli at her wrestling camp, and last but not least, Gus.
You are a pathetic excuse for a soldier, Griswold. You will never be a leader. Now stand at attention until I return, and do not move a muscle. Do you hear me? Not a muscle!
You know, I wonder what would have become of Gus if he stayed at that camp.
Hi, Joker.
The gang steals a crate from the mysterious men in the parking lot. only to find out that it's just boring paperwork and test scores. Not only that, but the gang sees Principal Prickly leave the building and enter his car. They refuse to listen to TJ and go off to return to their camps. That is until they all see a giant laser beam lift from the roof of their school and fire a beam into the sky. The beam doesn't last long, and it quickly descends back into the school.
Okay, that right there, that was messed up.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
You mean to tell me that only these 6 kids saw and heard this beam go off in their neighborhood? Nobody else saw that? Nobody? Okay. The gang hides in TJ's treehouse, where they snack and share how awesome it is to be back together. But Gretchen mentions how they only have a few summers to be a kid, and they might not see each other again come middle school. To lighten the mood, they all share their favorite summer memories growing up together, and Mikey mentions his favorite memory was being taught John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt by TJ's older sister.
How'd it go again?
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name, too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout, "There goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt."
This scene when I was a kid didn't hit as hard because I just saw it as, oh hey, they're just sharing their favorite memories. Young me didn't realize that the older you get, these memories become even more bittersweet. It kind of reminds me now of this scene from The Office where Andy says, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." The gang all goes back to their camps and TJ does some day snooping. He finds Prickly's pants in the trash and overhears Prickly talking with guards.
Hey, I'm a man of many talents.
Principal Prickly?
But wasn't Mrs. Prickly suspicious?
You kidding?
It was like taking candy from a baby.
Wait a minute. He went to Prickly's home? He has a wife? And even his wife didn't even notice? The gang meets up again at night and plan to break into the school. But Randall, being the annoying snitch, even on summer vacation, overhears their plan. Why was he stalking the gang? What's he doing in TJ's trash can? Unless we then see Miss Finster's house, where she is fucking up a punching bag, and Randall rings her doorbell. He shares the gang's plan, and Randall and Miss Finster follow them as they break into the school.
Miss Finster, could you please get off of me?
The gang sneaks throughout the vents to see our villain, telling his scientists to start the machine again. The laser is fired and is revealed to be hitting the moon. The scientists move the moon just a bit before the power goes out again, and Mikey lets out the biggest burp, alerting all the guards. Now exposed, the guards are sent after them. After headbutting a bald guy in the groin, using marbles to escape, they turn the corner to find...
Ninjas!
Why? Never mind, ninjas are here now. The gang manages to escape through a closing door, but TJ gets grabbed at the last minute.
TJ! It won't budge!
Jeez, is that a real ninja star? They're seriously trying to hurt these kids, huh? TJ is brought to Prickly, where he is alive and in his underpants. Why? I don't know, probably to humiliate him, I guess? It's then revealed that the villain, named Philium Benedict, is actually the former principal of the school. We get a flashback to the 60s where we see young Prickly and even young Miss Finster, full of life and trying to find new fun ways to educate young learners. Philium shares with Prickly that he has an idea that may seem controversial, but he would like to implement it. He wants to get rid of recess, so students' test scores could go up. Prickly is against the idea, but doesn't stand up to Phil just yet. During a protest done by the parents, Prickly arrives with the superintendent and fires Phil and appoints Prickly as the new principal on the spot. From that day on, he said he'll make him pay, and the whole world pay. Kinda wild that he held a grudge for 4 decades? TJ unties Prickly and they sneak through the vent into the principal's office. Luckily, Prickly confiscated one of TJ's walkie-talkies, so he uses that to radio the guys back at the treehouse. But before he could do that, it's revealed that Phil's master plan isn't just to get rid of recess.
He's trying to get rid of summer vacation!
Bald Guy finds them, and this time Philium shares the reason why he has the laser beam. It's to change the trajectory of the moon to make it snow during the summer seasons so that kids could stay indoors and study. Meanwhile, the gang and TJ's sister recruit all the kids from their camps to create their own little army. While the army is getting formed, Miss Finster goes to the police and, well...
I'm serious!
Back at school, TJ is shouting and Prickly tells him to calm down. TJ lashes out at Principal Prickly, and this leads up to honestly a pretty powerful scene.
I understand, but I...
How can you understand? You're just a grown-up. What do you know about summer vacation?
I'll let you in on a little secret, Detweiler. Every adult you've ever known was a kid at some time in his life. You think we don't remember summer vacation? Riding bikes down by the creek, catching pollywogs in a jar, camping out under the stars? Well, you're wrong. Some days I sit there in my office looking out at you kids on the playground and I think they don't know how good they've got it. In a few years, they're all going to be grown-ups like me, and all those good times will just be memories for them too. So go ahead. Put a whoopee cushion in my chair. Cover my carpet with fake vomit. Make fun of my big, saggy butt. But don't you ever say I don't care about summer vacation, because those memories are the last part of childhood I got left.
TJ apologizes, and Prickly reveals that he snatched the key when Philium wasn't looking. The kid army sneaks into the school, and they take down some of the guards using tactics they know. When TJ, Prickly, and the army head to the auditorium, they demand Philium to stop, to which he's like, no. Before the scientists could start the laser again, Miss Finster breaks in and also threatens Philium to stop. Even after all these years, Philium is still down bad for Miss Finster. Miss Finster whistles for her backup, and it's revealed she brought the entire staff of the school with her. A giant fight begins with the teachers and students working together to attack the ninjas, the guards, and even the scientists. Prickly punches Philium, but the laser starts and they're too late. However, TJ tosses Vince a baseball and tells him that he needs to throw it at the reactor's core. Vince throws the ball and destroys the machine.
All my plans, my hopes and dreams, ruined.
That would 100% happen in real life. Kids don't give a fuck about anyone's feelings. The police finally come, and the gang gets embraced by their family. But before TJ goes off with his friends, he goes to check on Principal Prickly. TJ thanks Prickly for helping him, but Principal Prickly tells him that he should be thanking him for reminding him why he became a teacher in the first place, to help kids and to be the teacher he wanted to be when he was young. They say goodbye to each other, but this time on a first-name basis. As TJ runs off with his friends, the Fifth Dimension Aquarius / Let the Sunshine In plays. Principal Prickly puts on his peace pendant from his youth and jokingly yells out that come September, he's gonna make sure he finds the proper punishment for the prank TJ pulled. TJ says that September is months away, and we get a final pan-away shot of Prickly smiling and the gang running off to enjoy their summer. The credits is a cute animation with the characters playing an amazing cover of The Lemon Piper's Green Tambourine, all while wearing 60s clothing and dancing. And that's the movie. You know, it was really nice revisiting this and resonating more with the adults when it came to maintaining the kids' excitement. But when I saw it as a kid, I remember thinking how cool it would have been to be losing it like the kids were in this movie. Something else I like is the juxtaposition of the 60s aesthetic compared to the military aesthetic. The whole show had this military aesthetic, but when it came to the movie, they embraced the complete opposite style. Could just be a coincidence because old teachers who were teaching in the early 2000s lived through the 60s, but still, I liked it. You can watch episodes of Recess, the series, and the movie on Disney+, but you can also probably find some on YouTube. Do you remember the movie? What do you think? Also, feel free to share a dope summer memory you had from your youth in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching and hope to see you in the next video. Happy summer.